another day, another edition of The Buzz Up on Your Dial. It's a show where we serve you daily juice on what's trending on social media. Wow, it's such an unusual table today.
You know.
What do you do? I mean,
The
when
show
your
gotta
guest
go on.
is sick, there's nothing you can do, you know. Well, the show has to go on. Welcome and thanks for joining us. My name is Patience Okafor. My partner is here, Alero. Good afternoon, Alero.
Good afternoon, Patience. When you wanted to say another day, I was thinking we were going to say another day, another dollar.
Okay.
You know, yes, it's another day,
day,
another
dollar.
dollar.
That's
Yes,
true.
a beautiful Wednesday afternoon to you out there. And you're onto the authoritative program on television where we'll bring to you what breaks on social media. So,
That's
Patience.
right. And today, of course, we'll be breaking everything that's breaking on social media on the program today. Remember, the number to use is 0802-836-8971. The number is going to be on the screen shortly. You can also avail yourself of other social media portals to enjoy the show.
Yes, using Facebook, www.facebook.com/Galaxy TV, and on Twitter, the official Galaxy TV, knowing that you can get to watch previous editions of the program via our YouTube channel, Galaxy TV Nigeria.
All right. Joining us, he's become an in-house now.
You don't need to introduce me.
He's an in-house now. We're excited to bring him back on the show. Honorable.
Yes.
Thank you
Yes.
very much.
Yes.
Endorsed on this table.
Yes, and so shall it
Thank you
be.
viewers, thank you. It's always
No, so
nice
that's
to be here alone.
Yes.
I'm nice,
Yes,
I'm okay.
sometimes, yeah.
Yes.
We are actually like reaching out to Mr. Chris Otaigbe, who was actually supposed to be here with us today. But you know, sometimes
The
you
weather.
can't cheat nature.
Yeah.
He's down. He's under the weather.
one of
Mr.
those
Chris, sorry for whatever you're going through right now. We wish you speedy recover.
And moreover,
Yes, speedy
You're
recover.
national TV.
today is his birthday too
Yes.
again.
Wow.
Yeah, I was
Happy
at-
birthday to you.
You know, I was actually thinking that, oh, sir, is it because of your birthday? That's why I do. He said, no, Alera, I'm actually down with fever.
Oh,
Yeah.
so what a way to celebrate a
We
birthday.
still cut your cake here.
Yes, we will. All right, so get well soon and join us next week. All right, but then the show has to go on. And talking about the show going on, what do you say about a road safety officer, female by the way, who tries to grab the wheel, you know, while a car is still in motion? I mean, who does that? But I'm not to say. I'll let our viewers actually watch this clip that's been trending on social media for like 2 days now, and you make your own deductions. We'll take this clip. We'll be right back.
The safety officer.
You see what you are doing?
You see what you are doing?
You see what
Safety
you are doing?
officer. A road
see what
safety
you are
officer.
doing?
Look at what you are doing.
You do
You
that
want
see
to
what
kill?
you are
You want to
doing?
kill?
You
see your wife on your road.
Which one?
You see what you are doing to my vehicle?
You see what you are doing?
You see what you are doing to my vehicle?
You are doing. Look at
You
what
see what you are doing to your
Is this
vehicle?
right?
Yes.
You see what you are doing to my vehicle? Don't worry.
safety
Don't
officer.
worry.
This
Wait.
is very
Don't worry.
unfair
I
and
will take
unjust.
this thing to Glass House.
You must get this.
Video her name. Make sure you get her name.
Yes, of
Don't
course.
worry.
Our number is M.
You are spoiling my vehicle. So you are seeing it.
Do you see what you are doing?
Don't worry. I get the time now. See, you see what you are doing to my vehicle. Don't
Let's
fight
put it-
now.
you are putting it on
Don't
back.
fight. Don't
And you
even.
call yourself a safety officer. You are a disgrace to force me. What of you?
Don't-
I'm not.
Are you not a disgrace?
I'm not
Are you not a
at all. You want to break my hand?
Are you not a disgrace? Are you not a disgrace?
You put it on pack.
Video them very well. Video them very well. Good. Good.
Okay, all right. So that calls for some. It calls for some. I don't know, deep thinking on the part of us Nigerians. Okay, I do know that this kind of videos are quite popular on social media, and all that. But then it calls to mind again, you know, how lawless our law enforcement agents can be. But it's not for me to say. Mr. Godi Ofose, seeing a video like this.
And please, let's just have in mind that that video actually came out, was it 2 years ago? 2017. That was last year.
But then it's trending
it's just
again.
trending now. And let's have in mind also that this same act is still
happening.
It's still happening, even with our last mile officials too. They get to do that.
Even with the police, everybody is involved.
It's a regular occurrence on our roads where you see officials that are supposed to maintain law and order breaking the laws. You can't see this kind of thing in an advanced country like Ghana, for instance. I don't want to cross the border, like Ghana, for instance, where you see a road safety official trying to rescue the steering with the motorist.
A moving car, for that matter.
And it's still happening. And I keep saying that, look, our officers on the road needs reorientation, not just talk. When you talk, the superior officers also need to be on the road to see how they are practicing those things that they were taught. It's unfortunate that that happens, and you can see an officer coming to smash someone with shield. So it's very, very unfortunate, and we need to condemn it. Even if it's something, why it's trending, it's maybe something like that happened somewhere else, and the person didn't have the opportunity to actually put it in video. And that's why we have to bring that up. I think the officers and the officials and the government officials needs to do something about it.
Well, I mean, that's so unacceptable. Whatever the crime the man committed, you know, I mean, he didn't steal the car. He's the owner of the car.
What you need to do is,
take
if
his
we
number,
have a good data system,
you know,
that's why we'll be clamoring for a good data system. We don't need to have all the IDs in the world. Just one ID could capture that man. That man cannot run forever. He has a car, he has a plate number. That when you have a good data system, you can just trace him.
That's true.
With ease, and you get him punished.
Of course.
Rather than getting the law enforcement person or a traffic officer to embarrass herself like that in public, that person must be a mother.
Okay.
Now you can imagine if the son or the family, the
or
relative
the husband
sees
or
that.
whatever sees.
Okay, but in as much as we try to talk bad about either of the officers, but we ourselves too, once you're stopped, please try and park, even if you don't have. Highest thing is you will have to talk to them if you don't have your driver's license. Why are you actually on the road without without a valid driver's license?
I don't know whether you have if you drive.
Okay.
And you have passed through, you have gone through the procedure of driving. That is, you have to go to the training school to learn how to drive. They will teach you, they will let you know that every average motorist is a mad person. That the one in front of you, consider yourself the only sane person. Now, if you know that, the officer should know that. Right?
And then
he
wrestling,
should know that.
wrestling the steering
That is why
of a moving car.
That's why in UK,
anything could have happened.
People that still get overboard their limit, their alcohol limit, are punished. Nobody, you don't say this. If you want to put up any form of sin, they will either call the police for you, while they impound your car. There's a way to impound a car, not to, drag the steering with an motorist.
But Mr. God, what I'm trying to say is, like, once the road safety officials probably stop you, what do? Don't you pull over?
I do.
You do. But do you know there's still some Nigerians that will just speed off, eating the next thing?
That is why the road safety officer on the road. If there is no
better.
crime, if Nigeria is a crime-free country, there will be no need for police. If the wall is a war-free wall, there will be no need for army. There will be no need for Switzerland, the UN. That is why we have all those things, because they know that this wall is prone to those vices.
Very true. All right, let's move it along quickly to another topic. We're looking at increased suicide rates in Nigeria. According to reports, Nigeria loses 80 persons to suicide in 1 year. Nigerians have continued to lament the increasing number of suicide cases in the country and have urged the government at all levels to take drastic measures to curb the trend. This followed the death of a woman who jumped into the Lagos and this has raised the number of deaths by suicide to 80 in the last 1 year. A World Health Organization suicide ranking showed that 800,000 people die globally from suicide every year, with 15.1 suicides per 100,000 people annually. Nigeria now ranks the 30th most suicide-prone country out of 183 nations in the world. All right, we have this short report courtesy of the NTA on the suicide rate in Nigeria and possible causes of suicide. We'll take that report, and when we come back, we'll talk.
In recent times, research has shown that Nigeria has witnessed an upward trend in suicide cases, which transcends gender, age group, social class, or religion.
I've had an experience of somebody, I can say, close to me that committed suicide.
Once upon a time, it was strange and a taboo for one to commit suicide in this part of the world. In fact, a survey some time ago stated that Nigerians were the happiest people on earth.
Can you commit suicide? Can you kill yourself?
I can't kill myself. It's not possible.
Why?
Life is sweet.
No, kill myself. For what? No.
I don't think. Nothing that will make me to kill myself because there is hope.
What is the problem now? The phenomenon is nationwide, different cases, from jumping into the lagoon, taking poisonous substances, or hanging, as in the recent case of a middle-aged man identified as Tijani in Dutse Makaranta, Abuja, a father of 5 children whose body was found dangling in his room.
The man work, they not used to pay the man. It's only the wife used to work there, come and help the children, both for the school fees and everything.
Tijani's reason for killing himself was poverty, but there are other factors responsible for this act. Experts, however, identified depression as one major factor.
It's lack of social support.
When you think you are a loser, you think you have no option but to commit suicide.
According to some recent statistics by the World Health Organization, no fewer than 1 million people die annually from suicide. There are an estimated 10 to 20 million attempted suicide cases yearly.
It is an abomination, a great one, that is punishable in the sight of Almighty Allah, especially in the hereafter.
The only person that has the authority to take life is God.
Although attempted suicide may not be written on the faces of the victims, there are some major signs.
Loneliness.
Be unable to share their burdens.
Experts say it is important for victims to speak out. Family and friends should look out for each other, and authorities should address the predisposing factors.
It's already been proposed by government to provide social security for the people.
We should stop frustrating ourselves. We should stop castigating ourselves.
Welcome back from that report. Nigeria is also ranked the 10th African country with a higher rate of suicide, and we're leading countries like Togo, Sierra Leone, Angola, Equatorial Guinea, Burkina Faso, and Cote d'Ivoire. Mr. Goddy, let's talk about suicide and the alarming rate of it now in Nigeria.
Patient is unfortunate. Why I say it's unfortunate is that at some point in this country, we're around the most happiest people. You know, happy people don't commit suicide. People that are looking forward to something. You know, when you talk about depression, you know, we use a very strong lexicon to deceive a lot of people. See, depression is as simple as hopelessness. When you don't have anything to look forward to tomorrow. Right? Now, life means nothing to you. Now, I was reading an article online in The Guardian. It was published on 8 March 2018, this year. The author was actually coming out with incidences that has happened, how younger people are committing suicide. As little as I didn't make a cutoff mark
in an exam.
Okay, as little as I could not pass a WAEC at first sitting. You understand? Now, the woman, let us go into first and foremost the cause of
Depression.
You see, a lot of things is one cause of depression first is economy.
Okay.
If you don't have anything to look forward to in terms of clothes, shelter, food, security, these four things can push a man to depression. And there was a story in this country that something happened in Europe that the public power supply took power without announcing it, and some people went into depression and they killed themselves. In some other country, you can see something that could push someone into committing suicide, because suicide is about taking your own life, your own. That's nobody kill you, you kill yourself. In whatever meaning, you can put your rope around your neck, you can take some pills, you can take insecticide, you can take anything that is harmful to the body that can kill you. A policeman also in that report he narrated how a policeman died because he couldn't pass the promotion exam. Look at as little as those things that are killing Nigerians today. Now, how do we get out of it?
Okay.
First and foremost, Nigerians, you see, unfortunately, up to now, there is no government paper, white paper on why Nigerians are dying. We have not had any government position, any government policy that is trying to curb this recent suicide. And I like, some people said on the social media that everybody should go and line up the Tall Mainland Bridge with barbed wire, the fence
fences,
and I said, there are a lot of lagoons in Lagos that you can jump in and die. I mean, the one that killed a lot of people in, is it 2001 during the Ikeja bomb blast?
Yeah, the bomb blast at okay. Is it okay?
That's towards no. That's towards that's towards the court now.
That's towards the court. It's still on fence up to as I speak with him. So a lot of places are there for people to take their life. That is not the solution to the problem. The problem is that we know that these are the issues. If the suicide incidences that we have today are as a result of the fact that children are failing exam, then we have to go and talk to their parents. What did you tell them? Did you ever tell them?
What kind of pressure
do you put on these children?
Yes.
Okay. What kind of pressure do you put on these children? That
Sorry to interject, Mr. Godi. That pressure, is real. Yeah, because it happened to me too when I was in school. I recall when I was in primary school, maybe primary 4, 5, thereabout, and all that. Not meaning to brag, I was always one of the first two in class.
That's always,
that's not meaning to brag,
also one of the first.
But this particular year, I don't know what happened. I came fourth in class and I refused to go home. And I hid under my locker in school. And till evening, nobody knew where I was, and my parents had gone to the police station. Because I felt like I had failed my parents.
Your own situation is different. Do you know why? Because you were not threatened. You were never threatened by your parents.
Who said?
It was the shame.
Who said?
The shame of the fact that you are going to face your parents for coming forth,
well,
and they are going to ask you, have you not been reading your books? And you don't have any cogent reasons to give them. Now, our parents, like me, I've always tell my son, like, you have to do well in school. Mine is not
about the position. I don't think there are even positions anymore.
No, it's just grades. Grades that they give them.
Do well. You should do well. Do you understand? If out of 80%, 100%, you have 90, 82, you have done well for me.
Okay.
Because even at our own time, we were not as brilliant as you guys are because of the things that are disposable to you to use for your studies. Some of us, I've never believed, I never used electricity in secondary school to read my books. It was a lantern. Do you understand? Because my village in Oron didn't have electricity. As at the time, I was in 1995, I was writing my JAM, my WAEC. So they didn't have it. So I was constantly using lantern. So my children are disposed to gadgets. Okay. At the age, my son is 8 today. I couldn't spell the things that he spells. What is it called? Primary school. I couldn't read the way he reads.
Yeah, that's on the scholarly side.
But
other things that predisposes
like
people
patience,
to taking their lives.
There are times
drug
that,
abuse.
aside from drug abuse, how many people actually go and see a psychiatrist?
Because we have refused
Because
to
we all
acknowledge our
that's
mental
it.
illness.
Do you know something, Mr. Godi? Hold on, Mr.
Hopelessness,
Godi.
Is it psychiatric related?
Of course,
Yes,
Mr.
it is.
Godi.
It
Hold
is.
on. If you don't sleep well at night, hold on. If you don't sleep at night, no, you need to see a psychiatrist. If you don't sleep well at night, it's not about seeing a psychologist. You know,
Psychologist will help you. You see, there is a stigma attached to seeing a psychiatrist.
that is the bad thing.
Listen. This is where government is coming in here. You see, we as individuals don't have all the money in the world to do some of those campaigns. That's what they call enlightenment campaign. Now, as government, since this thing has become prevalent, as the government come up to say, this is a campaign that we are doing to educate Nigerians. Like a policeman that died. Unfortunately, suicide victims don't wake up to tell their stories. They don't tell the story, this is why I died. For those who have the pleasure of putting it down, okay, you may understand. For those who do not have the time to put it down, just kill themselves, you don't know what, you can only speculate. For about the woman that is that died at the, allegedly died at the lagoon, you may speculate anything. The husband may say anything. You don't know what the husband has told her. That's why she decided to say, I don't even have what to look forward to. Maybe the husband says, even if these children are not my own, I will make you not to see these children, whether the children are the source of happiness. Do you understand? And the man that allegedly she was flirting with has exposed her, so she cannot go to the man. Obviously, she is now the scorn of the society.
She felt she had lost everything.
Everything, and that's what I'm saying. The first and foremost thing to understand about suicide is that it's the state of hopelessness. When a man or a woman doesn't have anything to look forward to, he decided to take his life.
That's true.
Do you understand? Now, what are the causes of this suicide that in Nigeria today? First and foremost, I can tell you, it's not drugs. Because if you see those who take drugs, they are cool with themselves. They don't want to die. And that is why whenever they are out of that drugs and they feel like dying, they look for the drugs.
To prevent.
To keep them calm further.
Okay.
So they don't want to die. In Nigeria, drugs don't kill people. Now, these are the things that kill people. Self-esteem, very low self-esteem. A policeman has told his wife that they are doing promotion exam. And the wife has told him, you have to pass her to, you have been on this corporal for a long, long time. You don't come back to this house if you don't pass that exam and get that promotion. And the man wrote that exam and did not pass. And the shame of facing his wife, you don't know what he goes through. Because when on the TV, when the feminists are talking about the how men are maltreating women, domestic violence, if you see the rate at which women are maltreating us, you understand, verbally. Because you can talk as much as you want to a woman. A woman can absorb it, but men don't have that shock absorber to absorb whatever their women tell them. I'm telling you. If, for instance, if my wife talked to me at home, what I would do is I can just take my khaki and drove her. My wife, if I talk to her, she will stay in the house and reply. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you look at all of those things, the parents threatening their children for not doing well in school and comparing them to their peers,
okay.
All right? Also telling them that if you come back to this house, you see I'm going to deal with you. Some children are so scared of corporal punishment and they prefer to die than to take that punishment that you are threatening to give to them. So those are the things that are causing, because if you read that article, I refer you to that article to read it. I've never seen anywhere you mention about drugs.
And that's exactly why a psychiatrist is able to talk them out of depression. Do you know there's still some people that are out of depression, they still listen to music and they're able to get out of it. They understand you, Mr. Godi. It's just, maybe because I've actually had an encounter with a psychiatrist.
But let us be real for a minute now. It is not our culture to visit, be it psychiatrist,
then suicide is it our culture or patience?
No, I know it is not our culture. The increase in the rate of suicide is now opening up our eyes now to realize that someone can actually have a mental illness without being raving mad. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Because we assume that you are mad when you take off your clothes.
All of us are mad
anyway.
anyway.
But a lot of people are actually looking normal, but are mentally unstable.